Let's set up our drums in like 5 minutes. Assuming you know how to tune them, set your kick drum up. You latch on your drum pedal onto the rim of your kick pedal or your kick drum here. And there's a little screw that you use your drum key. I'm sure your drum should have come with this key. This will attach to this to allow you to tighten and loosen that. Next thing you do, you're going to want to sit down at the drum. And you're going to put your snare in the middle between your legs. This will help you get an idea of if your foot and the snare are in the right orientation so you can play properly. Next thing I do is I set up my hi-hat. But because I have a double bass pedal, it's a little bit more difficult to have your hi-hat directly in front of you. So you're kind of forced to have your hi-hat off to the side. So it spreads out the availability of having your hi-hat directly in front of you, which normally, if you have a single pedal, you can have your hi-hat right here. So if you have a single pedal, not a double bass pedal, it'll be a lot easier for you to set it up. You'll just have your hi-hat pedal directly to your left here, and your right foot, your kick there, and your snare. This is just basic stuff. Next is your toms. You're gonna have probably 3 different toms. 10, a 12, and a 14. It depends on all the different sizes. There's so many different sizes. I'm pretty sure this is a 10, 11 or 10, or 11 or 12, and a 13. I always 14. I always forget. But you can measure them. I'm assuming your kit came with all this stuff. So you're gonna mount the hardware inside of the actual drum. It's gonna go inside, and you'll see every drum set has them, some sort of locking mechanism that'll hold the drum into there. This is a matter of personal preference. I like my toms kind of facing up towards me, angled. I sit kind of low in my seat. Everyone sits differently. This is like something you'll have to work out over time as you get better at drumming. I like my toms right here, so I can easily reach them. Everyone's different. But getting your drums into a spot where they're comfortable is most important, because when you're playing, the last thing you want to do is hit rims when you're not intending on hitting a rim, which will happen a lot. I do it all the time too. I'm not a professional drummer. But that's how I would suggest setting your toms up. So you're going to install them directly into the inside of the drum. It'll slide in. I don't know what kind of drum set you have. You might have a whole totally different mechanism. This is an older drum set from like the late 80s, early 90s. So it's a little bit more vintage. And then finally, you can hook up your cymbals. Your cymbals will be on their own separate stand. You'll see them separately hanging out on most. Mine, I kind of have my floor tom and my cymbal, my ride cymbal, on the same stand. And there's like a little auxiliary stand that comes off the side that I utilize to save room, because I have such minimal room here that this is the easiest way for me to have a small drum set in this small room, because I really don't have enough room, especially with my electric drum set over there. I'm quite limited as what I can do. So as long as you understand how to hook up your hi-hat and how this mechanism works and how this cymbal works, if you have another cymbal, you might have 2 or just 1. It's relatively simple procedure to put together a drum set. Tuning it is a whole different thing. I can do a tuning video on that one day, but I'm sure there's probably hundreds of better tuning videos on YouTube that would go into way more in-depth information as to how to tune a drum. This is just a basic tutorial on how I set my drum set up. I got a comment. Somebody asked if I could do a kind of a quick video on how to set up a drum set. They're a new beginner drummer, so I hope this is enough information to get you going. If you need more information, just reach out to me and I'll see if I can help you as best as I can. But I think if you piece what I put into a video and maybe search some other stuff in some other videos on YouTube. You could find all the information you'll ever need to set up a drum set. There are people who will go into extreme depth on what kind of drum set you might want, and if you're looking for a certain type of tone or a certain type of sound, what kind of pitch to pitch these to, and this is just, it gets crazy. So good luck to you, bud, and welcome to drumming.